What's up, guys? Big Kleib 34 coming to you today for Cars and Kleib, the antidote for your automotive hangover. Today, we're here to talk about, how do I even put this? The Toyota Prius? Yeah, so stay tuned because this one's going to get interesting because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So let's get that intro rolling, shall we? This is kind of far up. Guys, remind me to put that back because I will forget. That forward and backwards. This seat has to be able to go down some. I'm literally driving with the wheel in my lap. So while I try and figure out, oh yeah, there we go. I'm destroying every single seat setting that happened in this vehicle ever. There we go. Going down so I can actually, I get better miles per gallon than your bike. What you know about that? So if you're a car guy, you would consider yourself a car guy, take a minute to think about your short list of vehicles, top 3, let's say, of the cars that you hate the most. It's going to be the Toyota Prius. If the Prius isn't somewhere on all of your lists, I would be shocked. And if it isn't first on most of your lists, I would also be shocked. I would think that the only thing that could beat this on such a list would be a rolling form of contraception that is known as the minivan. I am sitting behind the wheel right now of a 2010 Prius. It's hard to get a more aggressive reputation of being annoying than a Prius, but I'm here to try and prove that wrong. Not that I have any type of reason to prove it wrong, I just think it would be neat if I could, I guess. My goal here is to see if this car actually sucks as much as the internet and the car community thinks that it sucks. So, we're gonna get rolling. The first thing that I notice here is that the controls on the Prius are kind of weird to get used to, so we'll see. So right now we're starting out. The Prius actually has 3 modes: electronic vehicle mode, eco mode, and power mode. There's an eco mode on a Prius, so you can get more tree huggy. You have tree huggy mode and slightly less tree huggy mode. Now, when I was doing just a little bit of research on this thing, it said, we're gonna get rolling here so I could talk while we're rolling, but eco mode, this is weird. Like, you can't hear anything. There is no motor. Well, there is a motor, there's no engine noise though. All I hear is the tires. Excessive speed. So your electronic vehicle mode goes up to 25, and I think it kicks off under excessive acceleration too, because I was thinking that if this car had a saving grace of being fun to drive, it would be the instant torque off of the electronic vehicle mode, but electronic vehicle mode deactivated, excessive acceleration. They probably do that because I would assume that the components in this car just aren't built to withhold, I would think, the excessive torque that could be provided by the electronic motor. So if I got in this and they basically let the motor do its thing, you'd probably start snapping axles if I floored it or something, which I didn't even floor it. I got about halfway into the throttle before it kicked out. Oh my god, I do not feel safe right now. Oh boy, whoops, sorry car. Back to the topic of discussion. Why do we as a car community hate Priuses so much? Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that the stigma around Priuses is based upon the owners and not the car itself. Now, the owner of this Prius is different than how you would picture a Prius owner, and I've met several other Prius owners, and they're not how you would picture it. When you say Prius owner, personally, if I didn't know any, I would think the way that I feel like most people think. That one video of the lady who was yelling at the guy with the diesel truck for idling because he's hurting the environment and blowing his smoke in her windows, and she's just freaking out, and she is like a disgusting human being that looks like she lives in the aisles of Walmart.
I came over here because it was quiet, because there was nobody here, and you come up here with your gas-guzzling piece of shit, and the exhaust is spewing everywhere.
Hey, don't you swear in front of my daughter. Get out.
Exhaust pipe. The wind is blowing in this direction.
Then roll up your
Why
windows.
is the goddamn car on?
Because my daughter is in here and I
Then
got the
roll
air
your own windows down. What's the matter with you? You gotta make that much pollution? Is it your right to make that much pollution with this goddamn car anyway?
That's how we all, I feel like, picture Prius owners, but the opposite is actually true. I haven't talked to a ton of Prius owners, but the ones that I have talked to say, dude, I don't give a shit about the environment. Well, not exactly that. Like, I don't know if they care about the environment or not, but the reason that most of them buy cars like this is obviously because you get fucking 50 miles to the gallon. Now, if you do run across a Prius owner who is a tree-hugging hippie and hates your big old American gas-guzzling V8, well then, you know what? You should just kick them right in their Prius nuts. But otherwise, I don't think most of the owners are like that. Instead of taking 12 or 13 in the truck and 20 in the race car, I would love to have 51 miles to the gallon. According to the consumption thing on the dashboard here, we're currently getting 51.3 miles per gallon. That's a cop behind me. It would be hilarious if I got pulled over by a cop reviewing a fucking Prius after driving around in high horsepower race cars all the time with my flamboyantly obnoxious race car friends. I've been driving this car around for a while and I have been trying to kind of qualify it in some sort of fun to drive category. It has seats in it, it has a steering wheel, it has a radio and a CD player. I'm trying to think of other good things. JBL, is that any good? That's static. I am very desensitized, but even trying to compare it to like rental cars that I've had and other, you know, daily drivers that I've owned and stuff like that, it's just normal. It's bland, it's boring, it's nothing special. But here's why that's okay. Now, trying to qualify this as a car that's fun to drive would be like trying to qualify my Corvette as a vehicle that I bought for good gas mileage. It just doesn't try to do that, but what it does try to do, it does very well, and it gets a shit ton of gas mileage. Don't get me wrong, the car is comfortable, it's laid out nice, it's an alright car for what it is though. But for what it isn't, if you try and make it a car that's fun to drive, you're gonna have a super bad time. Like, it's gonna suck for you. Life is going to be bad. I'm not out here advocating for Team Prius, but on the other hand, I think that the rep that they got as having all drivers being annoying and being like a shitty overall car is just a little bit unfair. It's not a fun car to drive, it's an economy car, but it does really good, like I keep saying, at what it was designed to do. So here's my verdict on the matter. Not all Prius owners are annoying. The owner of this one actually had, I don't know if you could see this SVT seatbelt cover. She had an SVT Focus before this, and somebody talked her into buying it, and she bought it, and she's cool with it. And she's not a tree-hugging hippie like I kind of envision most of us picture Prius owners to be. She's into the whole car thing. I'm driving a Prius, and I have not yet burst into a combustible ball of flames. And I'm alright with it. Would I buy one? Absolutely not. But do I hate them? A little bit less now that I actually drove one, because I can definitely see why somebody would buy something like this. Nothing more to it, nothing less to it. That's what it is. That's what it does. It's a comfortable little car, but if you're looking for a Mercedes-Benz, you should probably buy a Mercedes-Benz. If you're looking for a Camaro, you should probably buy a Camaro with a V8 in it. If you're looking for an SUV or a truck or something big, you should probably buy that. But if you're looking for something with gas mileage that's comfortable, that will get you from A to B and has a decent interior, then at that point maybe you should consider a Prius or some other kind of hybrid or something electric or whatever you want to use to save gas. I don't know where I am now. I'm kind of lost. I'm driving a Prius, and it's time for me to sign off. So thank you guys for watching Cars and Kleib, the 4th episode. We will be back again next Monday. We have content in between pretty much every day, but we'll be back again with Cars and Kleib next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you guys for checking this out. I'm going to try and find my way home, and if I start to melt or combust into a ball of flames driving this the rest of the way home, I will let you guys know. So that's about all I got for you guys. Remember to like it up, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching. So retarded doing these thumbnails. Okay, it's kind of dark now. You can't really see me because it's on auto mode and not focusing. But just to wrap this up, I just went back and filled the car up to return it, and I filled it up with $12, and it was below half a tank when I got it, and it's full now. I filled the tank with $12.